Okay, so I know we said that we would move on to talk about how Meghan's mannerisms were exaggerated after she left the royal family after Megxit. But there were just a couple of things I wanted to cover in a very quick video, which just infuriate me. I don't know if I've been I don't know if I have been consuming too much content to make these videos, but these videos, when I rewatched them, just absolutely infuriated me. So I wanted to put them in there because there are a couple of things there that I would like to use to compare to her post-Megxit behaviour. And there's just some that I just wanted to share with you because they make me crazy and no one else will listen to me. So I thought I'd put this in a quick video. Look here. See how they're not holding hands like they usually are? This is because Meghan wants to be in control of what's going on, and if she holds his hand, she knows he's going to push her back and hold her back, and she doesn't want that. And Harry knows that what's going on here is wrong. Look how he's playing with his ring. He knows they have to wait, but Meghan's like, no, I'm just as important as you guys. So we're going to go when we want to go. This is going to be the new monarchy. Charles is looking back and telling them to stay where they are because they have to follow protocol. But she's still advancing. And the Queen also looks back as well to see what's going on. So they both know very well that they're not supposed to be doing this. She's styled herself as some sort of a feminist and thinks that the reason that she has to hold back is because she's a woman or something. I don't know what she's thinking, because it's not because she's a woman. It's because she's the least senior royal there. That she wants to show that she's new and relatable and doesn't adhere to these old stuffy rules. Well, the royal family is an old, stuffy rule. That's what they are. They're a stabilising force. Her coming in and messing everything up isn't going to have the effect that she thinks it's going to have. It's not going to have the effect of making her seem like this rejuvenating force. She's just annoying. People don't want that. Now, let me give you an example of when I do stuff like this. My current partner is very shy and very reserved, and if I want him to do something, I'll just go ahead, blast in, and I'll do the thing and hope that he follows suit. But he doesn't. He's not that type of person. He will hang back. He'll still do the things that he wants to do in the way that he wants to do them. But I think that if I do it, he'll see it and be like, oh, well, that's okay, but it doesn't work. It just makes him really nervous. And that's what we're seeing here with Harry. He's nervous. He knows how it should be done, but he also doesn't want to annoy his wife. And that's why he's kind of following, but at a step back. Oh my goodness, this makes me so angry. When she's asked the question and she has that long, drawn-out and starts swaying, she's trying to look distressed, and she's no reason to be distressed. Ugh, she makes me so cross. There is nothing that's happened for her to be this upset, for her to be trying to look so doe-eyed and innocent. Oh, nothing happened. We all loved her at this point. She's so determined to be a victim that any tiny little slight she weaponizes and makes into such a huge deal. Like, have you never had any sort of criticism before? I find that very difficult to believe, considering her acting career. Stop saying you had no idea, and stop telling us it's difficult to understand. It's neither of those things. You did have an idea. You knew perfectly well what you were getting into. People kept telling you. You just weren't listening. And this is an example of her putting a narrative out there that isn't true. And she's hoping that if she says it enough, or if she acts innocent enough or doe-eyed enough, we'll forget the fact that she's in her 40s. Well, in this case, she was probably just touching the end of her 30s, the beginning of her 40s, but we're not going to forget that. Why are you acting this way? And it's not difficult to understand. We're not stupid. We understand just fine. Stop saying that. She says here, when I met my now husband, he has a name. His name is Harry. He's not an extension of you. It's not, Harry isn't Meghan +1. That calls him H later and laughs about how lovely and cute it is. So call him by his name. And she says, oh, my friends were really happy for me because they've never seen me so happy. You don't have any friends. Those people weren't at your wedding. Which friends are you talking about? Friends you had at your wedding were Jessica Mulroney, who's Canadian, who you've now dumped, Serena Williams, who was initially Harry's friend, Priyanka Chopra, Abigail Spencer from Suits, and Yania Gavanka. She's never mentioned that lady again, and some of her Suits stars. None of those people are her British friends. She doesn't have any British friends. Look at the look she's giving him right now. She's immediately in victim mode. Immediately. He hasn't even asked her anything yet, and she's immediately in victim mode. He asks her a question, and there's the kind of wry smile. Oh, it's so hard being me. And then she goes on to talk about how she was pregnant. Nobody bothered you when you were pregnant. Nobody did. Everyone was nice to you. Everyone was so happy that you were pregnant. What are you talking about? And then when the interviewer tries to identify with her, saying, well, it was a long time ago, but I do understand, she kind of looks at him in a kind of, I don't know, a mean way, and was like, as a woman, as if, yes, my struggle is much harder because I'm a woman and I was pregnant, so it's different to, you couldn't possibly know how awful it is. All right, well, he wasn't saying that. He was just saying that he remembers what it's like when his wife or partner or whatever was pregnant. Calm down. You don't have to be the biggest victim in the room. And you'll see that later in interviews she does. When somebody says that they've gone through something, she has to have also gone through it or have gone through it worse. Guilty. If someone tells me something, I'll always say, oh, I went through something like that. I don't know why I do it. I hate myself for it and I shouldn't. I suppose it's a way of try to identify with somebody to get them to like me. But it's still wrong. It's still manipulative. Someone should like me for me, not for who I'm pretending to be. Also, being pregnant doesn't make you vulnerable. I've been pregnant. I wasn't any more vulnerable. What is she talking about? Being pregnant doesn't make you suddenly innocent and sweet and, oh, I can't cope with anything. You're just a woman like you normally are and pregnant. I don't know what she's talking about there. I don't get that. And then when you have a newborn, okay, maybe then you're tired. You have 2 nannies. What was the problem? You weren't getting enough sleep. You obviously weren't getting up with the baby. You've got 2 nannies. What does that mean? What does it mean that you've got a newborn? Your life isn't the same as everybody else's. So you asking us to identify with you? We don't. Don't read the newspapers or the tabloids if they bother you. You had no reason to. You had a newborn. Remember how you said how difficult it is with a newborn? How did you have time to read all these terrible things that weren't even in the newspapers and the tabloids? It makes me cross because she's taking things that women struggle with, as in having a newborn, and choosing to make herself a victim on the back of that. Because we can relate to what it's like to have a newborn. It's hard, but we don't have 2 nannies. So you can't say, oh, when you have a newborn, it's hard. You don't know that. You have no idea. And to be honest, if I thought that being pregnant or being a new mum would give me some sort of an advantage, I would use it. But then you can't complain that people see you as manipulative. Try it. But it doesn't work. It hasn't worked in your case. You're not good at it. You're not a good manipulator. It's too blatant and it's annoying. This one, I would say, is the grossest video out of all of the ones we've looked at today. Maybe all of the ones we've looked at ever. This is so cringe. I think it's giving me a stomachache. It's so awful. How can they think that these people are clapping for them? They were clapping before you walked in. So why do you think it's for you? It's so narcissistic. Them standing there with those stupid, smug smiles on their faces, and the people around them are looking at them like they're lunatics. It's horrendous. If that was me, I think I would crawl into a cave and hide for a year before I did or said anything. And Harry knows what these events are. He must know this is for the conductor and not him. He's been to these events before. What is this? Have they actually convinced themselves that they're this special, that the public loves them this much? How? They were just talking about how horrible everybody is to them. So why would they think this standing ovation is for them? It's mind-boggling. I mean, just look at the comments under this video. This is one of the ones where I have no idea. If anyone can help me, please. Now, on a much less cringy note, you can see here as well that there's the tapping. So he's talking to this lady and she taps him. That means let's go to the next person. Why? Let him talk to the lady. There's no rush to get in, although there were rumours that they were late, which is why they walked in during the standing ovation for the conductor. If they weren't so late, they wouldn't have mistaken what was happening for a standing ovation. And what exactly did they think the ovation was for? What did they think they were being clapped for? Turning up? The royals turn up all the time to all different sorts of things. Why would they think that they got standing ovation? Because they are so big-headed. They think so much of themselves. They've convinced themselves that they're this new force to be reckoned with because she's half black. Who cares? Look at the Marchioness of Bath. Like, nobody cares. And it's so funny. There's that one guy who has just an utter look of disgust for them. I love that guy so much. He's brilliant. You can see the tapping again. She taps him and he gives her his hand. So he knows that tapping means something. And them holding each other's hands here during the standing ovation. What are you doing? Why are you holding each other's hands like that? Do you think people are applauding your love? You look like teenagers. You're about to hit your 40s, both of you. Jesus Christ, grow up. Anyway, that's it for this video, I think. I don't know how much of this was analysis and how much of this was just ranting. I hadn't seen those videos for a while. I've been kind of keeping up to date with Harry and Meghan's antics, but you know, when I was researching and trying to have a look at her behaviour before Megxit, this came up and it was so painful. I thought I have to do something with this. So the next video will definitely be having a look at her most recent antics and comparing it to the behaviour we've seen in the last few videos. Okay? So please do like, comment and subscribe. I'm a brand new channel and I'm really enjoying making these videos, although I haven't had any comments quite yet, so it'd be so nice to be able to interact with some of you guys who are watching this. Hope to see you again soon then, guys. Bye.